Hello, everybody, and welcome to an exclusive interview with quite a few managers here from our RGP Racing series. I'm joined today by none other than Kip Morgan, as of British American Racing.
You alright, guys?
Yeah, we have got Charlie Squire from the honoured team, the Goofy Goobers Racing, recently renamed from Gooning Racing.
Hello, guys.
And we have Max Lovejoy, as of Kachow fame and Motorcast fame as well.
Yep. Yep. If you're not listening to Motorcast, what the hell are you doing?
Yet another shameless plug from the Fiat owner himself.
We'll gloss over that bit.
Yeah, we will. On to the actual good cars. Last season, there is only one of us here. No, two of us technically, because I did also get a podium. Max, only one to get a podium outside of the top three.
Yeah.
Can you continue this?
Honestly, that's one of the only races I didn't turn up to. So I had no input onto that podium whatsoever. But it's a P2. I was relatively happy with the pace. I've kept that driver for this year as well.
Mm-hmm.
I've kept both of them, actually. Hopefully
Yeah.
they'll perform decently. There's been a whole new restructure in my team that we haven't put a press release out, so we can't talk much about that. But ultimately, I'm relatively decent with the first half of my season.
Yeah, it looked that way with your results last season. Did slightly fall off a little bit at the end, but that's not too big of a concern. Are you happy with where you finished last season?
I would have liked to have beaten Kip. I wanted to be best of the rest. But ultimately, I got a podium. He didn't. But the first half was going really well. I struggled at the very first couple of races because it's my first time doing IGP. But as soon as I got into the flow of things, I really got into the nitty-gritty, worked out my strategy, worked out that fuel is really important, but we won't have to worry about that next season. But ultimately, the almost first third or second third of my season I really, really enjoyed. I got some good results, constantly best of the rest, and then suddenly Kip came up. I don't know how you improved so much, but you were constantly beating me in the last third of the season, which was disappointing. The morale of the team dropped, but ultimately, this is racing. You go up and down. If you're not moving forward, you will go backwards.
Kip, any comments on your success as of the end of last season?
Yeah, I was in a similar boat to Max at the start of the season. A lot of that time was spent figuring out how to do things, how to improve, and once I started actually turning up to the races, I did start getting the hang of strategy. Rather than doing 2 stops, we were all doing 3, 4, sometimes 5, I guess. Yeah, it was just getting used to the controls, getting in the swing of things, training the drivers, putting the design points in the right places at the right time, and we started stringing together some better results towards the end.
Charlie, your thoughts on how you've been getting on with development in season 0?
Well, I think the start of the season, I think I was okay. I think the start of the season we started off all right, and then along came an extended period of absence where the results did drop massively.
A little bit.
So I think with the quality of the car that I have, it's not where we should be. I don't think that's where we should be at all.
Could you say anything about your drivers as well? You've got A. Grassi, brilliant driver. Podium with their previous team. Do you think you can deliver on that at all?
I think we can definitely deliver with Grassi. He's a very, very good driver. That's why we brought him in.
I think.
We brought him in to bring success to this team, and I think with him as the leader, the first driver, I think we can bring that. We can deliver that. I'm going to say most races. We're going to be very good this season. Very, very competitive.
Yeah, best position last season was P6 twice. Do you think you can get a bit further up the order into the top 5?
Yes, 100%. I would say further than top 5.
Further than top 5? Are you saying podium, maybe?
I'm saying podium.
Podium. Wow.
Nice.
Okay, that's a very bold claim, considering Max is the only one to get a podium outside of the top 3. Given the experience is fairly good from him, and it was a P2 in Bahrain of all places, the first race of this season. So P3, you think you can get up there?
I think I can. Yeah.
You think you can? You can manage it. Do you think you'll end the season stronger as well?
Definitely. I think with we'll be there. We'll be there. We'll be here. We'll be everywhere. We can finish this season stronger than we did last season.
Yeah.
We're going to get more points on the board.
Considering you didn't score a single point
Yeah.
with your second driver. Is it Coates? Is that how you pronounce it?
Coates, yeah.
Coates, yes. 0 points in the last 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think you can get a bit more than that?
We can get a bit more than
bit
that.
More, yeah.
A bit more.
Yeah. Okay. We'll move on now to who you would all consider your main rivals. Kip, we'll start with you.
It's got to be Max.
Yeah.
Because we did have a pretty close tussle towards the end of last season. I think we're both going to bring an extra level going into next season. And we'll both be hopefully fighting for podiums. I'm yet to get one.
Yep.
But it was the consistency that really brought me that position, fourth in the standings. So I hope we can elevate that just a little bit.
New name. Do you think that'll bring any extra flair to you, given you're now the bar team?
I do like it. Yeah. I hope that will just bring that extra something.
Yeah. Well, Max, Kip's just said that you're his main rival. Would you say the same?
Yeah, 100%. As long as Kip keeps up his pace, it'll be very difficult to beat him on a consistent track. But I think I have to look behind me as well to Joey. Joey, we started off relatively close. We were trading positions in the championship for a while, and then Kip came. I separated myself. I was in a bit of no man's land. I didn't have to worry about cars in front. I didn't have to worry about cars behind me. And then suddenly Kip came out of the way. So I think definitely Kip, and as long as Joey gets a good season, at least at the start of the season, I have to worry about him as well.
Yeah. Charlie, obviously you didn't finish as much towards the front end of the grid last season. Who would you consider your main rival to be?
Luca.
Yeah.
Luca, you are smoked. Right for the Neapolitans.
Yeah.
We're gonna outplay him.
Yeah,
Outdrive
you
him.
just managed to stay ahead of them at the end there. We had a very strong end to the season.
You did.
4 points the gap. Do you think you can increase that this season?
110%.
110%.
Yes.
Wow,
We could definitely increase that gap.
that's a bold claim. Fair enough. Anyways, we'll move on to now where we all think you will finish for this season. Obviously, I won because I'm just that good. So I think I think I'll win again. But we'll go to fourth place man Kip. Do you think you can get into the top 3 this season?
To be honest, I'm not 100% sure. Big 2-week break, a lot can change. I'm hoping that everything I've done leading up to our upcoming season should be enough to keep me there. If not, getting onto the podium, breaking into the top 3 teams would be great. There is quite a gap. It's 260 to 119 between third and fourth last season, so I'm aware that there's quite a big bridge to gap. However, we're going to give it our best shot.
Yeah, you finished well to the end of last season. 78% of your points came in the last half of the race. Do you think you'll keep this form going?
Hope so. Yeah, consistency is, again, it's one of the key factors to how we finished the season so strong, is that we finished every race in the season. We had no issues like running out of fuel. There were a few strategy blunders, especially in Monaco, when there was the
That's a bad race for everyone.
Toss up between slicks and wets. Inters, rather. But I think as long as I'm present for the races, we're all good.
Yep. Charlie, where do you aim to finish? Obviously, you came 8th last time around.
I think I think we ain't gonna be the best of the rest, but we're gonna be around there. I'm gonna say we're gonna finish 5th.
5th.
We're gonna
wow.
Good leap from last year.
Big step
Very
up. I
big
mean,
step.
you did say you'd try to get on the podium, or you will get on the podium rather.
Yeah.
But you would have to beat out the likes of Max, Joey.
That is the very difficult thing.
Yeah.
To beat the likes of them two, it's gonna be difficult.
Yeah.
But I think at least 1 or 2 podiums this season, we'll be happy.
Could there be some questions on your drivers? Because Grassi is a 2-talent driver. Obviously not the best, has quite a high BMI. And then Kachow also. 3 talents, so a bit better, but also a very high BMI. Do you think there could be questions on
Well,
the drivers?
if you're looking at me, I think the BMI in the team's going to be very high. But I think they need to control that, really.
Yeah, work on that maybe.
Yeah, work on it quite a bit. Obviously, the talent is where we don't want to be realistically. But I have faith in my drivers. Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, Max, you finished 5th, and you said you hope to do a bit better this season. Where would you say?
I definitely want to beat Kip. I want to be a solid P4 in the championship, but I'll also want to bridge the gap to the front runners. I want to be aiming for within 100 points of 3rd place at the end of the season. So I definitely want to get into that 100-point bracket, and I pretty much want to be pushing into the 200s as well.
Yeah, Zimmerman has won a championship with his previous team.
Yes,
one of 3 drivers on the grid to have won a championship. Do you think maybe you could bring him a second?
Definitely not next season. That isn't our aim. Our aim is to just develop on what we got. But for definitely in the 3rd, 4th season, I want to be pushing. I want to be challenging the top runners.
Yeah, fair enough. Right, we'll go on to the next race, which is Bahrain, the first race of the season. Max, you'll have fond memories of not turning up but still getting a 2nd place.
Yeah.
Do you think you can go one better?
I'd love to. I'd love to get a victory, especially in the first race, to say that I've led the championship as well, in either driver or constructor. I definitely want to be looking at definitely at least a 4th and 3rd.
Obviously, the start of the seasons, everybody's a bit more closer together with the cars, and the facilities are not as big of an issue. Like you just said, you wanted to win the race. Do you think you have what it takes to win this?
Yes, because I just said I did.
Fuck. All right, Kip, we'll move on to you. Where do you think you'll finish this weekend or this Wednesday?
If I'm being realistic, having both cars in the top 8, maybe top 6, is around where our cars should be as potential 4th best. It'd be great to break into the top 5 more regularly, scoring double-digit points. That would be a massive help in the constructors to help bridge the gap. Overall, I'd like to try and get a podium. Yeah. I know qualifying was somehow a strong suit of our car towards the very end of the season. So if we can keep that pace and keep it into the races as well, I think we'll be in a good place.
Yeah, you never got a podium last season, still yet to finish on one of the steps. Do you think you could get that with Johnson? He was the closest, I believe, to getting it, 4th place in Turkey.
Yeah, both my drivers are quite interesting, really. Sophie Brown is only 18, high BMI, but she's really quick. In the early part of last season, it was Johnson who was clearly the number 1, and then as the car got faster, the roles kind of switched, and I think she ended up outscoring him by a few points. So I see them both as equals, though.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see, how they push on through this season, especially given the training and development that's gone into them for the last, season and a bit.
Cool. Charlie, new name, Goobers.
Yep.
You'll be repping a new badge as well.
We will.
Do you think you can break into the top 5 this Wednesday?
I'd just be happy to break into the top 10 with the results we had coming to the back end of last season. But based on the start of the season, obviously cars will be very close together, so it'll be difficult to break into that top 5. So top 10 will be realistic for our team to start off with, and then we can progressively build on that and hopefully break into the top 5 and possibly even podium.
Nice. Well, I think that is just about everything for today. Thank you all so much for joining us here for this exclusive interview. You'll find this nowhere else. Definitely not on Motorcast. So thank you all so much for listening. And I'm getting dead-eyed, as you can probably see on the little camera there.
Yep. Motorcast is a brilliant podcast.
And we've actually got
Kim and Jay coming on.
Yes, go listen to that. Any other plugs from you guys at all?
Oh, my photography page as well.
Oh, yeah.
MEJ8660.jpg. Got cool stuff on there.
No.
I don't have anything really.
No.
Probably. Hang on. Yeah. In my Instagram. Go follow me. I need people, please.
Oh, how about the disqualifications this season?
Disqualifications.
We had, was it Joey's driver just went on strike? He didn't turn up.
Yeah.
Which was really funny, actually. I was going to say really disappointing, but actually it kind of helped us out. One of my drivers got disqualified.
Tutaro.
Which he would have got points as well, which would have got me into the hundreds, which is a shame. We talked to the management who ultimately disqualified him, and they had their reasons. Our lawyers looked into it, couldn't do anything about it, which is a real shame. But we know what we did wrong, and we won't make that mistake again. Finish with a lot of fuel on the tanks.
But would that be a good idea? Do you think that
well,
maybe it's worth
from
the
what I
risk?
understood, it's because I had less than a litre of fuel left in the tank.
It wasn't because it was because you didn't do the 2-tire rule. You only stayed on one compound for the entire race.
I can assure you we swapped tyres.
We'll find that one out later on that terrible bombshell. Thank you all so much for listening. Join us Wednesday for the Grand Prix, where I'll be joined with a couple of the guys in here for some commentary and some insights into the teams. Thank you all so much for listening. Good night!